Góðan daginn, my name is Thomas. I am the Icelandic professor, and in today's lesson, I'm going to teach you 5 waterfalls that you have to visit when you go to Iceland, as well as how to properly pronounce the names of those waterfalls. I saved the best one for last. It's also, I think, the hardest one to pronounce, so make sure to stick around until the end. Let's get into it. So waterfall number 1, we're starting off pretty easy. We've got Dynjandi. Dynjandi. It's out in the West Fjords. Make sure if you go to Iceland, you spend a day or 2 in the West Fjords. I think it's a pretty underrated part of Iceland. It's beautiful, and Dynjandi is out there. The nice thing about this waterfall is that it's just one word. The other waterfalls we're going to look at in this video are made up of multiple words, which makes pronouncing them a bit more difficult. But we're going to break Dynjandi down into 3 parts. We've got Dynjandi. Dynjandi. Most important thing is that the J in the middle of it is pronounced like a Y, the Y sound. And in Icelandic, the emphasis is always on the first syllable of a word. So it's not Dynjandi, but Dynjandi. You want to make sure that the emphasis is on the right syllable, right? You want to sound like you know what you're saying. Dynjandi. Maybe you're out in the West Fjords, you lose your connection, you lose Wi-Fi. You could ask a local, Hvar Dynjandi? Hvar Dynjandi? That means, where is Dynjandi? And they'll probably honestly respond to you in English, but they love hearing tourists put forth effort in learning their language and speaking their language. There were plenty of conversations I had when I first got to Iceland, and I was really trying to learn the language. I'd be at the grocery store, I'd be out somewhere speaking Icelandic, and they just respond to me in English. I'd just stay in Icelandic. I needed the practice. So put in some effort. You'll enjoy your trip more knowing how to pronounce these waterfalls. Waterfall number 2, we have probably one of the most iconic waterfalls on Iceland. We've got Skógafoss. Skógafoss. If you've seen The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, I think they say they're in Malaysia or somewhere totally not Iceland, and then they walk right in front of Skógafoss. So make sure to check this one out. It's awesome. You can walk right up to it. Important things with pronunciation here. Of course, everyone wants to pronounce this Skógafoss. That is incorrect. Do not go up to someone and say Hvar If you want to sound like you know what you're saying, it's Skógafoss. So the G right in the middle, because there's an O with an accent over it right before the G, followed by a vowel, the G is not pronounced. So we'll break this one down. We've got Skógafoss. Skógafoss. The other thing is foss. You'll see that on pretty much all the waterfalls we are learning today, because foss is the word for waterfall. Skóga comes from the word for forest in Icelandic. It is the singular genitive conjugation, so it literally means forest waterfall, waterfall of forest. Another thing with the word foss, in my TikTok comments the other day, I had someone say foss, kind of sounds like faucet, making that connection there. If that helps you out, I figured I'd share that. But yeah, number 2, Skógafoss. Make sure to check this one out when you're there. Moving on to waterfall number 3, getting a bit more difficult with the pronunciation here. We have Gullfoss. Another very iconic waterfall. I'm sure you've seen photos of this one before. I was living in this area in the wintertime, and I went there and it was covered in snow. It looked amazing. But whether you're seeing it in the middle of summer or the middle of winter, you're going to love it. Let's get into how to pronounce this one. So it's 2 words. Gullfoss. Gut, the double L's is one of the hardest pronunciations in Icelandic, at least for Americans, for English speakers. You want to have the tongue hitting the back of your top front teeth, and air is coming out the side of your mouth. So you've got gut. If you kind of make an SH sound and just exhale, that's where the air is. So you've got gut. Make sure to not say, though, an SH sound. Like, it's not gush. Foss. That sounds awful. But it's gut. Foss. The thing to know with foss as well that maybe I should have said earlier is O with no accents over it. You start with your mouth kind of small and you open up. So it's foss. Gut foss. Now, when people are talking really fast, it can be hard to notice. But that is proper for O with no accents. It's not gut foss or gut foss, but gut foss. Golden Waterfall. Very close, well, maybe not very close, but not too far from Skógafoss. Moving on, waterfall number 4 has got the longest name of all the waterfalls we're looking at. It can look intimidating. It is a lot easier than it looks. We're talking about Seljalandsfoss. Seljalandsfoss, made up of 3 words. So we've got Seljalandsfoss. Once you break it down, it's pretty straightforward. Again, J is the Y sound. So we have starting with Selja Landsfoss. Selja Landsfoss. If you're there in the summertime, you can actually go behind this waterfall. When I was there in the middle of summer as well as the middle of winter. So during the wintertime, it's all blocked off. It's frozen. You can't walk up there. But in the summertime, you can walk behind this waterfall, get some amazing views. Another extremely well-known waterfall here on the southern coast of Iceland. Make sure to check it out. And the final waterfall we're talking about is a 10-minute walk from Seljalandsfoss, and it's got to be my favorite one. It's kind of kept secret. It is not super well known, but I'm going to let you in on it. Make sure to check this one out. Check out Seljalandsfoss, go for a little walk, and check out waterfall number 5. We have Gljúfrabúi. Now you're gonna get wet checking out Gljúfrabúi. You have to walk through quite a bit of water just to get to the actual waterfall. But honestly, it's raining like 99% of the time on Iceland anyway. You're probably already soaked, or you're at least dressed for that environment, and it's totally worth it. You walk through this little cavern into a big open area. There's a giant boulder in the middle you can stand on or climb onto and get some awesome photos. And it's just great to be out in Iceland. Like, you're in this kind of cave area that opens up on top and the waterfall's coming down. It looks amazing. You do not want to miss this one. You're already checking out Seljalandsfoss. Take a little walk. Check out Gljúfrabúi. Let me tell you how to pronounce it, because you're going to see signs for this at Seljalandsfoss, and they're going to be in Icelandic. Or you might want to ask an Icelander. When I was there were Icelanders fishing right under Seljalandsfoss, which is kind of insane to me. Number one, how are you standing basically under the waterfall doing this? Number two, I would not think there were great fish in there. But I had to ask some people, hvar Gljúfrabúi? And they can just point, oh, it's right over there. So you're going to want to know how to pronounce this one. It's made up of 2 words, Gljúfrabúi. So let's break it down. We've got Gljúfra. Again, J, you're experts by now, makes the Y sound. The important thing here is F is pronounced like a V, so it's very voiced. So Gljúfra, pretty much all R's are rolled in Icelandic. So we have Gljúfra, then we have Búi. The U with an accent sounds like 2 O's in English. Ooh. We've got Gljúfrabúi. Not too bad. No foss in this one. We just got Gljúfra Búi. My favorite waterfall in Iceland. A little bit of a secret, but now you know about it. Make sure to check that one out. And let me know if there are any other waterfalls that you know about on Iceland that you're really excited to see and you're unsure of how to pronounce the names. Comment down below. Let me know what you want to hear. Takk fyrir að hlusta og takk fyrir að horfa á þetta. Whether you're just hoping to go to Iceland someday, maybe you've already bought your plane tickets, or if you're really serious about learning Icelandic and you just don't know where to start, make sure to subscribe to my channel and check out my website, The Icelandic Professor. I have learning materials there for you. Again, whether you're just going as a tourist for a couple of weeks or you really want to get into the language. I learned Icelandic by living in the country, speaking with Icelanders, and reading the dictionary every day. This is an awful way to learn the language. I'm going to be totally honest. Speaking every day is great with natives, but it is hard to learn just by reading the dictionary and memorizing charts. So I've written 2 books, Icelandic for Tourists and Icelandic 101. Again, if you just are going for a couple weeks, you want to know a bit of the language to feel more comfortable going to a foreign country, definitely get Icelandic for Tourists. It's going to give you phrases, how to order an Icelandic hot dog called a pilsa, how to ask for basic directions, how to pronounce food, how to feel confident going to a restaurant and ordering off an Icelandic menu. Don't go to Iceland without this. Also, you're just going to enjoy your trip so much more if you've taken the time to appreciate their language and culture. And for anyone who really wants to get into Icelandic and start speaking the language, I've taught people who moved to Iceland and they live there now, working in genetics. One guy I taught now has a job over there. So Icelandic 101, we dive into grammar, vocabulary, and really useful phrases. And the best part about it is I want you speaking and practicing every day. That's how you're going to learn. So I give you a couple pages of grammar and vocabulary, and then 20 pages of exercises using that grammar and vocabulary. And practicing and speaking or doing exercises every day is the most important part of learning. These are the materials I wish I had when I was learning Icelandic. Go to theicelandicprofessor.com, check out my learning materials, and let me know what else you guys want to learn. Ég þakka ykkur fyrir og við sjáumst.